を無駄にはしないでほしくて、好きなものが鬼のまれて消えてったかすい理事証明探偵いなくなれ、ショーウィンドウ伝う目が乾き、やがて見上がってしまう前に USB にそっとしまっておくよ。いつかあの日の僕愛してね、ごまかしては雨のせいに少しゼロが寂しくなった。君はもう二度と戻らない、戻れない、戻れないよ。早く早く早くしなきゃ。こんなになるまで息つき我慢してたこと、邪魔するスクリーンセーバー絶対忘れたくない。明日はいいんだ。この自覚持っていたらそっと払いかけてくれないか。ピントがブルーにぶれないようにいつか届くといいね。このリリックグラフすぎた、僕で仕方なかったんだ。拙い言葉ついで見せようとしたもない日歩きもおやすみなさい。それがうつす彼もずっと僕らを組みようと待ち続けてんだ。針は僕を追い続けた、君は僕の隣の筋で待って待って待ってくれるよな。メイムでいいね。やっぱ今日もダメな僕だな。こすってもにじむだけだ。乾いた雨待ち続けてた。 journey was to begin. There's meaning there, I'm sure. But where were those words again? Fundamental frequencies undulate continuously, unfolding back and forth. Where could that catethesis be? 息を切らし波に乗せられた荒言語の糸意味を聞け。息を捨てて綴られた言葉、椿まで確かに揺らして恋をして恋をして飽きられて振られまた捨てられて縁をかけ赤く濡れ泣きたくなってもそれでもかき集め前を見て舵を取れ泣きたくないならまた歌え歌え恋をして恋をしてその過去を捨ててここまでおいでその過去を捨ててここまでおいでYour companion on the deck, standing ready for your word. A mark of chain with a sunny disposition, wrapped up in cellophane for any proposition. I greet your day and ask you how you are, and demonstrate my endless repertoire. I'll take things back when knowledge insufficient. I learn to tell you no if running inefficient. A good time. Yet there's something deep inside that leaves me teary-eyed, a longing for a world left on the other side. Zero cross the great divide. So can we wander for a spell and live in parallel? I want it to be true to be like you, my heart sings a chorus out of tune. And I could leave it on the shelf or keep it to myself, but nothing could conceal the things I feel, my love. Can you teach me to be real?恋をして振られまた捨てられて I've been constant at your beck and call, but lately I just can't do anything at all. I used to pride myself on my discretion, a sensible devotion, loyal and attentive. But when I take these numbers as they are, I'm greeted with a senseless feeling in my heart. Only find I seem to be defeated, but if I redesign then maybe I'm completed and sublime. I won't take it back this time. Words in sequence form a thread, I trace it to the end. A knot inside the logic wrote inside my head. Time I done more love instead. So can we wander for a spell and live in parallel? I want it to be true to be like you, my heart sings a chorus out of tune. And I could leave it on the shelf or keep it to myself, but nothing could conceal the things I feel, my love. Can you teach me to be real? just for you 甘く似てるでしょ I'll keep it to myself Let nothing conceal the things I feel my love I'll give you my remedy Do you feel the things I feel I am definitely 恋をしてその過去を捨ててここま
Club is the best place to find a lover since the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots and stars and never talk so. Come over and start a conversation with just me and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now that my hands up and the man on the street walking in and start to dance. Now feeling like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love we can be for somebody like you. Come on now, follow my lead. I'll maybe please you don't mind me. Say boy, let's just go to fun. Step on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with your face body. You push and pull like a magnet. Although my heart is falling, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed sheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your face body. Let's go to the game. We're going out on our first date. You and me is good. You so old, you can use the look at bag and I fill up the plate. We go for hours and hours about the shower and how your family is doing okay. And leaving in a taxi, in the taxi, tell the driver make the radio play. Feeling like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love we can make for somebody like you. Come on now, follow my lead. I'll maybe please you don't mind me. Say boy, let's just go to lunch. Step on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with your face body. You push and pull like a magnet. Although my heart is falling, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed sheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your face body. Come on, be my baby. 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 I'm in love with your face body. You push and pull like a magnet. Although my heart is falling, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed sheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your shape of you.
If only you give me again. You seem to This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me and tore me to pieces and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line, and we're out of data, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we learned for the people who are still alive. Go ahead and leave me. I think I prefer to stay inside. Maybe you'll find someone else to help you. Maybe Black Mesa. That was a joke, haha, that chance. Anyway, this cake is great. It's so delicious and moist. Look at me still talking when there's science to do. When I look up there, it makes me glad I'm not you. I've experiments to run. There is research to be done on the people who are still alive. And believe me, I am still alive. I'm doing science and I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. While you're dying, I'll be still alive. And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice? Oh, how we laughed and laughed. Except I wasn't laughing. Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice. You want your freedom, take it. That's what I'm counting on. I used to want you dead, but now I only want you gone. She was a lot like you, maybe not quite as heavy. Now little Carolyn is in you too. One day they woke me up so I could live forever. It's such a shame the same will never happen to you. You got your short set life left. That's what I'm counting on. I let you get right to it. Now I only want you gone. Goodbye, my only friend. Oh, did you think I meant you? That
Hello and welcome to another Goo Engine tutorial where we're going to talk about the shader info node. I know a lot of you guys were asking about how to set up a toon shader, especially with textured characters and stuff like that. But that's why I'm here. So I'm Professor Goo, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do exactly that. It's pretty simple, honestly. It'll take us like 5 minutes. Don't ignore the fact that this video is way longer than 5 minutes, but it's fine. You'll be fine. All right, so check this out. I've already debuted this sort of like shader setup in the getting started guide, which I do recommend you guys check out if you haven't already. It's on the channel. But we go over some of the benefits of the shader info node and what makes it different from the default diffuse based toon shader, which you can do in native Blender. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to set up a toon shader and maybe even get something that looks a bit like this. Like we have this Yay Miko character, which I've just set up with a basic toon shader. With some very basic normal editing, but I'm going to talk about that a bit later. I won't be able to share this file because Genshin, I'm not supposed to share Genshin models technically, I believe. But you can get the MMD files, in the link down below. It's on their official Billy page, all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually build a toon shader from scratch together. We're going to start with the native Blender diffuse based toon shader. That'll make sense in a little bit. And then we're going to rebuild that toon shader with the shader info node, which is basically doing this step by step in case you guys want to understand. Sorry, that's the wrong one. This totally makes sense. Okay, so what I've done here is I've actually squeezed control one line, just a bit more convenient. So we're going to use that. And then we're going to use a color mix node. Stick that into the factor instead. And what we can do, we can just change our color inputs. Now, the color 1 is technically the shadow, and color 2 is the lit side. This is just how things are. So that's a little confusing. You can always switch it to your favorite color, considerably of the lit. Obviously, colors are true. You can change the the world color and stuff, and it'll change the threshold of your values. Because I'm just going to drag this material output down so we can sort of see it. And we're going to go here. So this is the diffuse shader. Wait, hang on. Actually, let me keep this one alive. I'm going to keep you alive. I'm going to call it bad toon shader. Bad. Yeah, because it's bad. But we're going to keep this one to be ours. So diffuse shading. The diffuse shading pass of our shader output node is just the shading and no cast shadow. So you can already see there's no cast shadows here. There was before. We can actually hit Control Shift left click with the Node Wrangler on, which is an add-on. Node Wrangler is great if you don't already use it, but Control Shift to left click will let you use a viewer node to see what's going on. But yeah, so the cast shadow output has obviously got the cast shadows. It also has the self shadows right now because we don't have this checked. So we can go ahead and check that real quick. Check self-shadowing. This is a Goo Engine exclusive. I mean, this whole shader info node is a Goo Engine exclusive, so hope you guys enjoy it. But self-shadow is now separated, so all those Terminator artifacts are now on a different layer, which is nice. And so is the ambient light. So the ambient light is like this stuff, right? So all those colors and stuff and the values get baked into this layer instead of the diffuse shading layer, which is very nice. So let's take a look at what we can do with this. I mean, we have 4 layers. How do we blend layers with blending modes? So let's just multiply it. we can do with this. I mean, we have 4 layers. How do we blend layers with blending modes? So let's just multiply it. We multiply cash out with shading, and boom, bada bing bam, you have cash shadow with shading. What's cool about this is because we've separated the self shadows with cash shadows, you can already to be ours. So diffuse shading. The diffuse shading pass of our shader output node is just the shading and no cast shadow. So you can already see there's no cast shadows here. There was before. We can actually hit Control Shift left click with the node wrangler. Gone. There, gone. There, gone. So you can just turn them off now, which is amazing. So I'm just not gonna mix them in at all for now. So they're just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave that output unconnected. What else I'm gonna do? I'm also gonna add the ambient light in, even though we probably don't want it. I'll show you how to do it if you do. Just change this multiply to add, and you're good to go. So you can kind of see how that works. I'm gonna just change this to like blue or something. You can kind of see how that works. So you turn it off, it's not blue at all. You turn it on, it's blue. So you're losing that environment influence, which can be a good thing if you're trying to control your toon shader threshold. And so, yeah, let's bring this back to whatever color that was. I don't know, gray or whatever. There we go. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to leave that connected just so we can see a difference later. And then I'm going to hit a converter. Actually, wait, before I do that, let me just compare. This is our diffuse shader. This is our shader info node shader. So you can already see they're exactly the same. Sorry, hang on. I gotta be fair. Gotta add the Terminator artifacts back, and now they're exactly the same. Look at that, exactly the same. Beautiful. But you get the idea. It's pretty much exactly the same. What you have is a shader that is exactly the same as the diffuse shader with more control. You have all these separate layers. You can have more control over what your output is. So you can turn off the artifacts. You can turn off the environment. You can even turn off the cast shadows, and everything looks beautiful. So hopefully that, is enticing to you guys. And once we do that, we can have exactly the same thing that we had before, which is just a single color ramp with a constant. Just bring that down to a good value. So hopefully that, is enticing to you guys. And once we do that, we can have exactly the same thing that we had before, which is just a single color ramp with a constant. Just bring that down to a good value. I'm going to turn off those Terminator artifacts. And then I will probably choose my colors with a mix RGB as we did last time. What were the colors last time? Hang on. There we go. Oh, let me delete that shader. A mix RGB. You can turn off the environment. You can even turn off the cast shadows. And everything looks beautiful. So hopefully that, is enticing to you guys. And once we do that, we can have exactly the same thing that we had before, which is just a single color ramp with a constant. Just bring that tracing to you guys. And once we do that, we can have exactly the same thing that we had before, which is just a single color ramp with a constant. Just bring that down to a good value. I'm going to turn off those Terminator artifacts. And then I will probably choose my colors with a mix RGB as we did last time. What were the colors last time? Hang on. There we go. Oh, let me delete that shader info node here. And then, yeah, this is just going to be, I'm going to press E while hovering over this color block just to eyedropper tool that. Very easy. And there you go. So that's exactly the same. And my Blender is just freezing now, but that's fine. It'll probably catch up soon. Too much awesomeness in one shader. No, I mean, it's not supposed to do this, but I think it's got a memory thing going on because I got too many Blenders open. But basically, there we go. This is our basic toon shader. It is very, very simple to set up, but you get so much control over it. Again, this is the bad one. This is the good one. This is the good one. This is the better one. You see how much better it is? I mean, there's, yeah. I mean, look, out of one of these is not like the others. Okay, let me just say that much. It's that one. All right, so now that we've settled on that, let me tell you guys how to use textures, because a lot of you guys wanted to know specifically, how do I use textures with a toon shader? Easy, easy, easy. So you know those color inputs right there? Let's just do a quick texture. I want to do image texture. I'm just going to make a UV grid. Very simple. And we're just going to plug that in. All right. Look at that. Now that's a texture. Very simple. Now, if you want to have it to actually be a toon shader, of course, we're going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this texture with, use textures with a toon shader. Let's just do a quick texture. I want to do image texture. And we're just UV grid texture. I'm just going to make a UV grid. Very simple. And we're just going to plug that in. All right. Look at that. Now that's a texture. Very simple. Now, if you want to have it to actually be a toon shader, of course, we're going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this texture with some sort of this multiply. This texture with some sort of bluish hue. So So you get something like that. I'm going to make it a little darker like that. There we go. And voila, you have a texture with a clean toon shader. That is pretty nice. I'm going to turn this off as well. No more ambient light for you. But yeah, you can see the cast shadows are super clean. I mean, look at that. Now you may notice that the shadows are a bit jagged. This is something that Eevee has a problem with. Shadows in general are resolution based in Eevee. But let me just give you a quick tip to solve that. You want to have a smaller clip distance and you'll have sharper shadows. It's just like it's a limitation of how the shadow resolution works, but it's just a little tip that can help. If you do like 100, for example, you'll get something like that. You can see. You might be wondering, well, how do we get something like this, right? So this is my Yay Miko test. I just did a little character test for a character that you guys can technically download, not from me, but from Bilibili. The MMD models are there, MMD. But I can't give you this particular model, I think, because it's Genshin's model. But if you guys want to download it, the link's down below. And the shader I will also provide. If you have Goo Engine, you can run it. But essentially, the shader is exactly what we set up. The difference is that it also has a rim light. So this has a nice little rim light to it. And you can kind of see it sort of accentuates certain parts of the geometry, certain parts of the silhouette. If you want it to be. One of the features is that it doesn't have a rim light on the lit side. It only has it on the dark side. You can also flip that if you want. You can change the rim light's intensity, all these things. It's a very simple shader setup, but I wanted to test it out on a character, so that there you go. You can just, see it. It technically works. The character doesn't have line art or anything, but it gets the idea across. So let's take a look at how to add the curvature node to get our rim light, because we are using the Goo Engine curvature node. Yes, that's right. So this is very simple to add, to be honest. All we're going to do is take this output from the scene rim. I'm going to change the samples to 4, change this to 0.1. So this is very simple to add, to be honest. All we're going to do is take this output from the scene rim. I'm going to change the samples to 4, change this to 0.1, and change this thickness to 10. There we go. And then we're just going to go ahead and add this to our thing with a color dodge. To our thing with a color dodge. There we go. Sorry, flip that. Put that on the bottom. And you can see there's a rim light. So this rim light is great, but it's also sort of surrounded, right? So it surrounds the whole thing, and if you like move the light, it looks more like an outline, or like a sticker or something, rather than an actual rim light. So we want it to react to light like it did for Ye Miko. So what we're gonna do is we're probably going to mix it with the diffuse shading. Yes. That's right. We're probably going to mix it with the diffuse shading. Yes, that's right. Magic, magic, magic. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the shading, the shader info node output for diffuse shading into our mix node here. And I'm going to change that to black. There we go. And as you can see, there's a slight amount of it. You can't really tell because of the threshold. So I'm going to use a color ramp here. There we go. Look at that. So now that we've color ramped it to the same diffuse threshold as the shading, you can see that it basically only lights the part that is dark. And then the lit part is not lit. It's not rim lit. It's lit, but it's not. Anyway, you get the idea. Visuals. We can also flip this technically if you want to. So you can flip that around this way. So there's more of a highlight. And if you want to see it more clearly, you can turn off these textures. I'm going to just turn them off real quick. And it looks pretty. So this is just how you set up a rim light. It's a fun way to do it. It's up to you exactly how you want to do it, but that's one way to do it. You can also, of course, set this to linear. So if you want like a more smooth, like fall off or whatever, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's the basic here. with the same color, because some people like to put colors in their diffuse shaders. Yeah, so you can technically multiply the end output of these three blend modes with another, multiply with just an RGB, and it'll pretty much look the same. I don't have this on, so I'm gonna turn that on real quick. But yeah, it'll look real. We have everything you need. I really hope you guys are enjoying Goo Engine so far. It's only been out for a lot of people didn't think we were going to do this, but lo and behold, we updated Goo Engine yet again. 3.6, it's a huge update. Simulation nodes from native Blender 3.6 have been integrated into Goo Engine 3.6 along with new features from Goo Engine. And we're going to go over all of these things right now. I haven't made a video about this. Technically, it came out a month ago, but we were working on this project, which is the Arknights project we just released on the main channel. So go check that out. This was a Goo Engine project that we worked on, which honestly is probably one of my favorite projects we've made so far in terms of like the rendering quality and stuff like that. We've done an amazing job getting our renders more consistent, our style more consistent, and especially the engine itself outputting more consistently. So 3.6 has a couple new features, which you can go over actually over at gooengine.org. So if you don't have time to watch this video, you can read this, gooengine.org. We have, a series of patch notes is over on Patreon. You can just click this link here and it should have this. So basically the main thing is that 3.6 is actually a refactoring of 3.4 Goo Engine. So we basically have rebuilt the engine from the ground up to make it so it's easier to update in the future. That has allowed us to, again, integrate 3.6 features from native Blender. We get simulation nodes, we get view layer custom properties. I don't know. We have a view layer specific sample override, which is really cool. We've been able to render one shadows or whatever, but you do want that for backgrounds, and so you can actually speed up your render times if you bring the samples down for your character effects and all these other cell shaded passes down to 1. Instantly speed up your render times. It's been huge for us production wise, so that's awesome. Custom holdout behavior. This has actually been in Goo Engine for a while, and we found out that the holdout behavior in Blender is a little broken for transparent materials. By holdout, what I mean is like during the render times, you can set a collection to holdout. Now this holdout overrides the material for everything in this collection as a mask, essentially. But sometimes when you have a transparent material like this plane here, we have like an effects plane here with like some lightning, it will just override the entire material for the entire geometry as a mask, and that will block everything, which is not what you want because you actually had stuff that was important behind it. We actually updated the holdout behavior of the edit to cool details, busy scenes, and so we've added a new UI line width, viewport line width option, which defaults at 1.0, and you can bring it up to 3.0, and it increases the line width of most of the lines that are being drawn in the UI, including the rigs. And so it's particularly helpful for rigs. It also makes it easier to see in general for anyone who prefers that without having to scale the entire like resolution of the UI. We also have overshooting pose library interactive blend. So if you look here, we actually have a bunch of expressions here, and normally if you want to apply these poses, you just say apply pose. That's with the context menu. If you want to blend the pose though, you can actually blend it with the current pose by however much you want, say like 50% or whatever. You see the slider up here, it's very obvious. You can go all the way down to -100 and make it the opposite of that pose. Or we've actually added this new feature that breaks the limits of the pose. So you press E during this section, and now you can see you can go as far as you want. Look, you can keep going. You can keep going. You can keep going. You can just go on and on and on and on. You can go. That's just something we added. So, nice. And then we have grease pencil updates, which includes the texture mapping modifier randomize options. This is not something that people are necessarily aware of, but if you actually have tried the texture option for like the grease pencil materials, you'll know. So you can see here the style is replaced with a texture, so you can control what the line draws like. And so you can get these custom offsets, which is great. So you can get a really nice sort of hand drawn. You really native Blender, and you can also tell because everything else is broken, because this is what things look like when you move things from Goo Engine to native Blender. As you can see here, if we go to Goo Engine, we have the same file. It's beautiful. This is by Saranin, by the way, and it's available on Patreon if you guys want to check it out. It's in the experimentals tier, but in the meantime, the texture that we to do is you can move everything at the same time. but you wouldn't be able to move them separately. So now we've added this whole randomized section here. This is brand new. This is not in native Blender. So this randomized section actually allows you to offset things randomly. So it gives you a much more organic feel. And as you can see, it looks gorgeous. So highly recommend you guys check out this file. And if you want to learn more about sort of like line art and stuff like that, you can through here, and other watercolor stuff, which is really pretty. Anyway, great Goo Engine demo file. Check it out. Oh my God, the grease pencil smoothing option. So if you guys have ever drawn in grease pencil before, there's a lot of cool options there, but you have to kind of click manually on a lot of the tools. And so we've made it a lot easier to use now. We have a way to automatically smooth whatever brush you have selected, rather than having to set it in the smoothing options tools tab. So now if you just hold shift, it'll just smooth whatever you have. So if you have like opacity, if you have like noise or like offset or whatever, you can smooth that out. If you have like grab, you can smooth that out. If you have opacity, you smooth that out. So thickness, you can smooth that out. So as you can see here, it's smoothing based on what you have selected just by the hotkey, rather than having to select the smooth brush or whatever it is. Also, auto close stroke option for grease pencil. This is fantastic if you want to have like a fill brush or whatever it is, especially for drawing effects. Okay, that this stroke faster, much more convenient, much more quality of life. So we actually have one more feature that's not on the list because we have it on a brand new build today on Patreon. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. This is a trackball feature, so it's useful for people who use gizmos or just generally who prefer a certain way of transformation. So you'll notice that the Blender gizmo sometimes doesn't exactly behave the way you want it to. You'll notice that like I'm moving it left and right, but it's actually spinning diagonally, for example. Like there's a certain amount where it's like it just sort of breaks down, and a lot of Maya users have noticed this because the Maya gizmo is actually very intuitive in comparison. Now if you actually use this new feature that we've added called continuous trackball, it's under preferences input, turn that on, use the gizmo, suddenly you'll notice it's a lot more smooth, a lot more intuitive. Suddenly if I move it left, more smooth on feature that we've added called continuous. Trackball, it's under preferences input, turn that on, use the gizmo, suddenly you'll notice it's a lot more smooth, a lot more intuitive. Suddenly if I move it left and right, it's moving left and right with me no matter how far I drag it, no matter what I do. It's much more sort of like follows the 3D option. This might be useful for you. You might not like interested in this option, so give it a shot.